Let's look briefly here at some Welsh Twelfth Night traditions. Let's start with Calennig, gifts and blessings. The tradition of Calennig, meaning New Year celebration or gift in Welsh, is primarily associated with New Year's Day but extends into Twelfth Night. Traditionally, children and young people visited neighbours' homes, singing songs and reciting blessings in exchange for gifts. The tradition often saw apples skewered with holly or other decorations, in a similar way to the Christingle orange. You probably need little introduction to the next Welsh winter tradition, the Mari Lwyd, a ghostly ritual. This is a haunting and poetic custom that continues to be an integral part of Twelfth Night celebrations in some parts of Wales today. This tradition involves a horse's skull draped in white cloth, carried by a disguised participant. Accompanied by singers and musicians, the Mari Lwyd visits homes to perform ponco, musical or poetic battles. Just as you are retiring for the night, feet up by the fire, Moggy curled up on your lap, you might hear on the door. Shh, if you're very quiet, they might go away. Comes again, the horse's jaw pressed against the keyhole. The Mari Lwyd has experienced a significant surge in attention, somewhat of a revival, with the image of the horse's skull draped in a sheet becoming increasingly something of an internationally recognised Welsh folk icon. Indeed, the horse's skeleton is far from being dead and buried. There are many processions involving the grey mare, including in Llanrwst Wells and Llangwanoed, the latter known for having one of the most authentic surviving Mari Lwyd processions at Twelfth Night. These two traditions, Calennig and the Mari Lwyd, are examples of what we loosely call mumming, the visiting of doors and performing for goodies and grub. Mumming is one of the most common practices that we find across these islands, especially in the darker half of the year. As well as mumming, a Welsh Twelfth Night might also involve wassailing, feasting and divination. Although wassailing, the blessing of orchards to ensure a fruitful harvest, is generally associated with England, there are examples in Wales, including in Llanrwst, Monmouthshire and Anglesey, the latter often combining wassailing with Calennig, which we've already looked at. In Carmarthenshire, feasts were held with local delicacies such as fruit bread and Welsh cakes. Aberystwyth saw traditional harp music accompanied dances and Cyrth Dant Welsh sung poetry. And in Denbighshire, folk dances like the Llandysul were often accompanied by traditional instruments at Twelfth Night. Twelfth Night was also seen as a time when the boundary between the living and the spiritual world was thin, and many superstitions and omens were observed at this time. Weather patterns were often carefully watched, with clear frosty nights predicting prosperity for crops and livestock. In Snowdonia, the weather was closely monitored, and a frosty night was considered, yes, a sign of good fortune for the year ahead. In Pembrokeshire, fishermen sprinkled holy water over boats and nets on Twelfth Night, believing it would protect them from bad luck and misfortune. And in the Brecon Beacons, the burning of holly and ivy was a common practice to ward off evil spirits and ensure good fortune for the year ahead.